Right. I wanted to make a video to show some new options that ANET has released quite recently. One is a little bit older, meanwhile the other one is a bit newer. The first one is snap ground target to current target. So what it does basically is that as long as you have a target, it can be both ally and enemy. Your indicator skills, like any AoE ring basically, will snap to whatever you have targeted. It actually is very like it comes in very handy for thief with shortbow. It's much easier to land clusters. Um, it's a little bit hard to see when the option is on. If you run instant like I do, you have no idea if it actually went on the enemy or like ally, whatever. Um, so the people with range indicator has a little bit easier time to know if you have it toggled on or not. Why I say if you have it toggled on is um, I I use a keybind to toggle the option on and off called toggle snap ground target. The problem is that there is no notification when you're toggling it. So if I don't remember what, like if I pressed X or I pressed X twice, if I forget that, then yeah, I don't know in what state the option is in. So if I play staff, for example, in Zergs, um, yeah, so if I play staff, especially when I Zerg, um, it can be nice to vault in. Like if you have, it's easier to land your vaults, right? Especially if you have a specific target that you want to go for. The problem being that if I want to disengage and I have it toggled on, yes, you can either detarget your current target, and the vault would obviously go forward. But if you forget to detarget or toggle the option off, yeah, then you will obviously vault backwards, which can result in you dying. So yeah, you have to be a little bit careful with that when you run instant like I do. And this option also works for allies. So if I have my ally targeted, let's see, yeah, we can do that. So if I vault, I try to vault here, it's gonna go straight on the NPC instead. This option is extremely good for stuff like Glyph or Signet, like Signet of Mercy, for example, because a lot of people run skill retargeting for Glyph or Signet, right? Because if the enemies, like let's say you have a teammate, let's say I'm the Guardian right now, and my teammate goes down here, and if they CC his body, like knock it, I have to have skill retargeting enabled, because otherwise I can't retarget the cast of the Signet. Because you can basically just move the AoE ring towards where the body got knocked and you would land the Signet. Without this option, you don't have that. It would always land there where you started the cast, right? So you would not get the res. But if you run snap ground target to current target, it will ignore skill retargeting entirely. As long as you started a cast when you were in range, like you have to be in range for it to snap. But then it doesn't matter if they CC the body. It's snapped to the one you have targeted. There is, however, a little bit of a problem if you want to do that on an ally, because one, obviously you first have to target him in order to actually do this, and then you obviously have to have this toggled on. And as I said, sometimes it's very useful to have it toggled on. Sometimes it's not so useful to have it toggled on. So you want to be like getting used to swapping it, like toggling it on and off. I think that's it has very like big potential if you get used to it. As I said, it's a bit harder when you run instant like I do, but I still think it's worth trying. But then there's the second option. Obviously, a lot of you know how you call a target, and then you can have a keybind to take whatever target is called. But ANET also added a new option, set personal target. It used to have, this is very new by the way, this came pretty much basically because of Spectre. Because targeting, like you're a Spectre, you're a single target support, right? So you clicking in a Zerg, or you have a target that you always want to support, right? Like let's say the commander or whatever. You clicking on the raid frames is awkward as hell. And obviously you don't want to, because anyone in your party can call a target, right? And it swaps. But set personal target is just for you. It used to have a blue ring instead of a red ring, but right now it doesn't have anything. So yeah, it's a bit hard to know if you actually put the personal target on or not. But if you get used to it, same thing there, it's extremely good. So it doesn't even have to be an ally, it can also be an enemy. You can use it. So let's say this armor master is I want that to be my like personal target. So my team, they targeted this guy, but I want to swap to that guy, then I use my keybind and boom, it automatically targets the personal target. This one obviously is very, very useful for Spectre when it comes to like maybe like siphon them, or like you want to use your scepter skills on them to give them barrier or healing or whatever. So yeah, it's but it can also be in obviously in World of World it can be extremely powerful. You can use it as commander focus or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, you should absolutely try them. I still haven't gotten used to personal target, but I think that one has a lot of potential. Because like let's say you're team fighting as thief, or you come into a fight and you're targeting let's say the Necro, and you obviously need to keep an eye on the Guardian. Let's say there's a core Guardian with Mercy Signet or Ellie, whatever, and you obviously have to pay attention to them because they're obviously going to try to use their Signet or Glyph, but you will lose a lot of time just by then. So I targeted Necro and I kill him, then I have to move my mouse to the Guardian just so I can like actually have him targeted and then use my steal, for example. But if I know that the Guardian is it's a priority to have him targeted, then I just put personal target on him, and then it's like, okay, I kill him, and then boom. So yeah, there's some advanced tricks